and Vice President Harris, Majority Leader Schumer, Mitch McConnell. Mitch, I don't want to hurt your reputation, but we really are friends. And that is not an epiphany we're having here at the moment. You've always done exactly what you've said. You're a man of your word, and you're a man of honor. Thank you for being my friend.
That was the Democratic President, Joseph Robinette Biden, pathetically praising Mitch McConnell and also publicly affirming their friendship. He's a man of honor, says Joe Biden. I mean, this is embarrassing. Imagine calling one of the most destructive political figures in modern American history your friend. Let me tell you about your friend, Joe Biden. Because of this individual, in the year 2022, women might literally have to resort to coat hanger abortions again because he stole 2 Supreme Court seats from your party, and he's your friend? I mean, most of the damage that Mitch McConnell has caused to this country is irreparable, but what we can actually fix, what we can undo, will take decades. And yet, you still publicly legitimize him and call him a man of honor and say he's your friend. What is wrong with you? Is all of this meaningless? Is politics just a show to you? Because a lot of people actually have skin in the game. We actually view this as a high-stakes thing, and we want you to actually fight. But this tells us that you don't care. You don't give a shit. I mean, is there no limit to how bad Republicans can become for Democrats? Is the prerequisite to becoming a Democratic Party leader having a humiliation fetish? I mean, are you literal masochists? I don't get it. Mitch McConnell can walk up to Joe Biden and literally spit in his face, hock a loogie right in his eye, and Joe Biden would probably just wipe it off and then lick his fingers. Because that's how craven he is. That's how desperate he is to get the acceptance of these mouth-breathing, pants-shitting psychopaths known as Republicans. Mitch McConnell could tie Joe Biden up in his basement and subject him to perpetual cock and ball torture. And Joe Biden would probably love it. He'd probably get off on it and thank him when he's done, because that's how weird these people are. That's how psychopathic these motherfuckers are. And it's not like I'm expecting, Joe Biden to publicly shame Mitch McConnell, because of course, Democrats would never breach decorum. They're always going to remain civil no matter what. But maybe for once, just stand up to them. I mean, my expectations aren't that unrealistic. I'm not expecting Joe Biden to go full douche bro and look Mitch McConnell in the eye at the prayer breakfast and say, you know what, Mitch McConnell, I see you. Fuck you. Suck my dick and choke on it. No cap. I hope you die, bro. Like, I'm not expecting that. Joe Biden would never do that. But maybe at a minimum, at least you'd think we should be able to expect you to not publicly legitimize him. But we can't even get that. Democrats are just so weak. Peak cuck energy. That's what Joe Biden is. One of the weakest presidents in the history of the United States. Can't even stand up to people in his own party obstructing his own agenda. And he's going out of his way to praise Mitch fucking McConnell. What a joke you are, Joe Biden. Wow, how embarrassing. Now, let me remind you what Mitch McConnell said just last week before Biden even had the opportunity to name a nomination to the Supreme Court. Best Levin of Vanity Fair explains, Mitch McConnell is already out there suggesting he's not going to let Biden's yet-to-be-named pick to replace Stephen Breyer on the Supreme Court go through. In a statement issued Thursday, the Senate Minority Leader warned that Biden had best not nominate someone too ideological like, a number of the conservative justices already on the court, or there'd be consequences. Quote, the American people elected a Senate that is evenly split at 50-50, McConnell said. To the degree that President Biden received a mandate, it was to govern from the middle, steward our institutions, and unite America. The president must not outsource this important decision to the radical left. The American people deserve a nominee with demonstrated reverence for the written text of our laws and our Constitution. So this is someone who has repeatedly made a mockery of you, Joe Biden. This is someone who pledged to block 100% of your agenda. And I mean, maybe Biden doesn't mind because he's not doing fuck all anyway, but this doesn't bother you? I mean, you say that Trump is an existential threat to U.S. democracy, and that's true, but Mitch McConnell was Trump's enforcer. Trump wouldn't have been nearly as effective had it not been for Mitch McConnell right there, helping him accomplish all of the terrible things that he wanted to accomplish. But yet Joe Biden says he's a friend and a man of honor. To think that Mitch McConnell is a man of honor says a lot about your moral character. We all know that the author of the crime bill, tough on crime, fucking Joe Biden, drug warrior, he's morally bankrupt. But right here, he's really telling you just how craven he is, just how desperate he is to be accepted by Republicans. He doesn't give a fuck about his base, constituents. He's not doing anything to mitigate the damage that he caused with his bankruptcy bill, fucking over student loan borrowers, locking up people for having cannabis. He's not trying to undo the damage he caused. He's in there groveling at the feet of Republican lawmakers, trying to get their acceptance like the sycophantic little cuck that he is. And it's not just Joe Biden. Let me be clear. This is a microcosm of a bigger issue with Democrats. They're all fucking weak. Let's remember what Nancy Pelosi said about Republicans just a couple of months ago.
And I say to my Republican friends, take back your party. The country needs a big, strong Republican Party. Here I say that as a leader in the Democratic Party, but we need a big, strong Republican Party. You've done so much for our country. Take pride and take back your party. Don't have it be a cult of personality on the extreme right.
Counterpoint, no, we don't need a strong Republican Party. We need the Republican Party to go the way of the dodo before this psychopathic death cult ends humanity. I mean, how much more time do you think we have to save the planet? It's not like you all give a fuck, but they're blocking progress and trying to take what little we do and undo that. So we don't need a strong Republican Party. We need them to go extinct so Democrats can be what they always wanted to be, the de facto conservative party in the United States. And then hopefully, a left-wing party or at least a center-left party will emerge. But that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Why? Because Democrats won't let it happen. Democrats love Republicans. And, you see them oftentimes condemn what Republicans say and do, but in actuality, they really like this because what all of this demonstrates is that politics is nothing more than a show to them. They love having the Republican Party there because that makes their jobs so much easier. I mean, think about it. If Republicans block all of your agenda, then you get to sit on your ass, do nothing, and then send emails to your constituents about how Republicans are blocking this wonderful thing that you want to accomplish. And you never have to actually do anything. You never have to violate what your donors want. You just, there's no expectation. So they love Republicans. Democrats are nothing more than seat warmers. They kind of give us a break from the craziness of Republicans. And that's all that they do. They never take us in a further direction. They never try to salvage what's left of our democracy. They just sit on their asses, do fuck all, and prop up the Republican Party and legitimize them when this party is so extreme that they would not be electorally viable in a sane world. In most European countries, these types of parties are fringe and they're gaining prominence to be sure. But I mean, the Conservative Party in Canada, nowhere near Republicans. Tories in the UK, they're bad, but they're not Republican Party bad. I don't even know if UKIP is as bad as Republicans. But yet, Democrats are desperate to prop them up and legitimize them. It's just, this is why they lose elections, because they are inadvertently communicating to their base that none of this actually matters. See, to a lot of people, politics is actually about survival. I don't talk about politics because I care so much about these political figures and I want to see what Nancy Pelosi has to say about legislation. I don't give a fuck about any of these people. What I care about is helping people. I want people to have health care. I want the planet to be habitable. This is about survival. It's not political theater to us, but to them, it's just a show. So, I mean, you might think that, I'm a little bit overly triggered by this, and perhaps you'd be right. But they have no fucking shame. They have no shame. Joe Biden should be ashamed of himself. He should hide his face in shame for the rest of his life. The fact that he even ran for president really is shocking, given how many fuck-ups he's made. I mean, he's done damage to the country, too, that will take a long time to repair. But for him to be president, do fuck all for the American people, and then praise Mitch McConnell, the worst of what the Republican Party has to offer. Go fuck yourself, Joe Biden, you fucking simpleton, dotard piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. I hate Democrats so much. The hatred that I have in my heart for Democrats could probably power the entire U.S. electrical grid. They're just worthless. They are completely worthless. Jesus fucking Christ.
You know, You know the thing. You're getting nervous, man.